Good morning. Winter's on its way. A little bit of snow out there this morning. That's the time of year. Not going to stop Mickey and I from coming here and doing coffee with Alain. I thought I'd share a little tip this morning on getting prepared for winter driving for all of the people that are in the northern area where they're going to have snow and ice and weather that can make driving a little bit more difficult. Want to do everything we can to make sure that we keep those roads safe for ourselves, our loved ones, and everybody else on the road. Before I get into that, I want to just thank everybody that's been sharing and signing up for the newsletter and giving the feedback on the newsletter and commenting on the videos. You know, Friday will be my 300th in a row Coffee with Alain. And the newsletter grows week by week, more and more people signing up and enjoying those articles. Sometimes the articles get a little bit longer than I originally planned, but want to make sure that I give you good information to keep safe, enjoy life, be exceptional. And from the feedback I'm getting, I'm accomplishing that goal. So I appreciate everybody that writes back and comments and shares and helping me grow this community. Because it is a community. It's a community of people that want to be exceptional, want to go out and enjoy life, and want to do it safely. So let's talk a little bit about how we can make sure we're safe on the roads. Winter's here. We had our first snow, and it's only going to get worse before it gets better. We'll probably have some more warm days coming up and might wear a t-shirt again, but I'll be wearing long sleeves more often now. But snow will be coming and ice will be hitting, and it's good to have your vehicle in tip-top shape for winter driving. Primarily, you want to make sure you have good tires. And depending on your vehicle, you might want to get winter tires, even studded tires. Now, my car has all-wheel drive, and I have good, because they're pretty new, I put them on a year ago, all-season radials, and so I handle the winter driving pretty well with that car. My wife's car is only two-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, and she has to go up and down a big steep hill to get to work every day where the school that she works at. The school where she's at has a beautiful view of Missoula, but you got to go up and down that hill to get there. And so we put studded tires on her car just to make it a safer trip going up and down to school. Check out what vehicle you have, what kind of driving you're going to be doing, and make sure you have the best tires you can afford and have. And it's prudent if you put winter tires on and studded tires in certain places. Now, studded tires you can only put on in the winter and in certain places. They're regulated. You can't run them in the winter and such, or run them in the summer. It's only for the winter. But depending on where you live, the driving you're doing, it's worth an investment because they will make your vehicle more safe and be able to control it better on snow and ice. Now, there are some ice that nothing's going to help much, but those studded tires do help. Winter tires do help. So make sure you have the best tires for what you're going to be driving. Now, when I'm driving around town, I don't worry so much about the supplies in the car. But here in Montana, often I'm taking trips of 100, 200, 300 or more miles. And on those trips, there are long stretches where you don't really see much and there are no services. Whenever I'm driving in the winter out of town, I throw a couple bags in the back. One has warm weather gear for me, hats and gloves, regardless of what shoes I'm wearing, have a pair of boots in the car. So I have clothes and gear to keep me warm if something were to happen and I get stranded somewhere. The other bag will have a can of Sterno, help keep you warm, a good knife, 550 cord. I always have a shovel, a collapsible small shovel, different gear that if I got stranded would make it a little bit more easy for me to deal with things. So I have tools, I have Sterno, I will usually have some kind of food, and then whenever we're taking a trip, I'll have my snacks, but then I'll have protein bars and some other things. Always going to take a jug of water. And so you want water. So have those supplies in case you get stranded. You're going to be okay. Not going to be living high in the hog and enjoying it most likely, but you're going to be okay. And we see some of these places in the Midwest where the ice hits and you see the people stranded out there for hours and hours. Having supplies in your vehicle can make when you're stranded more bearable. Having stuff in your vehicle can make when you're stranded a difference between life and death sometimes, because people have died. My wife always sort of wondered when, if she was right here in America and she would see me in winter have all this stuff. I'd have a blanket in there or a sleeping bag or two, and have that bag with the tools, have the food, have the water, have the different things whenever we took a trip, even if it was only 100, 200 miles away. But then we saw that story on the news one time of the Korean family, which really hit home, my wife being Korean. I believe it was in Oregon, but they were out in the woods in the winter and they got stranded, and the man went to try to get help, and he died. They did find the lady and the child in the vehicle later. And that's a good safety tip too. Staying in the vehicle is usually your prudent choice, and you'll be found. Walking out, especially if you're not prepared for it, usually not the best choice of action. Okay. Having a cell phone and a way to make sure you can charge it if you're stranded, and hopefully if you're in a place where you get reception. A lot of places here in Montana, that cell phone won't do you much good because you don't get reception, but it's still important to have your cell phone and have a way to charge it. Don't leave town without a full tank of gas. I mean, I don't like to ever get my gas tank below half anyway. I mean, when it's half, you should always be filling it. But if you're going to go out of town, always have a full tank of gas before you leave, and try to keep it full. On the long drives, yes, you're going to use gas, and it's going to be dictated by where you can stop and so forth. But try to keep your gas levels full. Those are just a couple little things. In a future episode, I might go into more detail of what's in the bag and the different things that I take. But today I just wanted to do a short little message that winter's here, it's starting, and I want you to prepare your vehicle and things for any type of driving and trips you might make. Want to say good morning to Jay and Vicky. Appreciate you guys being here. It's always good to see you. And Rachel Shaw is here. It says, I love this. Being a native from Florida, I never know how to dress when I visit my family in Iowa. And that's true when people from the southern states come up to maybe go on a ski trip or something in Montana, or, maybe going to visit family in Iowa or to get inclement weather. You're not as prepared for it. And one of the best things you can do is before your trip, do some research. And you got a great way that you can just talk to your family and ask your family, what should I bring? How should I dress? What's it like before you go? And so you got that inside scoop there that they can help you with. Thank you for being here. And Jay says, big time. Thanks, Jay. Jay and Vicky are up here in Montana, so they know all about winter and winter driving and being prepared. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. The weather is starting. So you want to make sure you're prepared now. Don't wait too long and get trapped and stuck. Okay. And that could be even getting stuck in your driveway because you didn't buy a new snow shovel because you forgot your old one broke last year or something like that. Now you can't shovel your vehicle out of the driveway. You forgot to put the winter tires on, and now it's super icy and snow and you're skidding around. You leave town and you forgot to gas up, or you didn't put your cold weather stuff in, your extra things, and you get stuck stranded on the side of the road. Stuff happens to people all the time. Don't let it happen to you. We want to be prepared, not paranoid, just prepared so we can be safe and then enjoy everything else. Take care, everyone. Appreciate you being here. If you haven't signed up for the newsletter, go do that. EnjoyLifeSafely.com. We'll have some winter tips in that newsletter coming up in the future issues as well. Until then, make it a wonderful Wednesday, and we will see you tomorrow.